KwaZulu-Natal's Department of Social Development is tonight facing accusations of non-payment of subsidies owed to NPOs. News 24 reporting this morning that a group of non-profit organizations has since launched an online petition accusing the department of continuously delaying payments and ignoring their pleas. They say that nearly 500,000 beneficiaries, including children and the elderly, are being directly affected. For more on this, let's speak to Althea Govender. She's with the Pietermaritzburg-based St. Monica's Child and Youth Care Centre. A very good evening to you, ma'am. Grateful for your time tonight. How long has your centre been waiting for the subsidies? The report from News 24 today said from about August. Is that correct?
Very good evening to you. So we're not based in Pietermaritzburg. We're based in Treasure Beach in Durban. We're waiting for our September subsidies now and the tranche payment that was promised to us for October, November, December. And right now we do not know how we're going to cope because we've been shuffling monies around in order to meet all our debts and to make sure that the children's needs are provided for. And we cannot understand why this state is not being held accountable for their actions.
And
so
in what way has this affected your ability to deliver the services to these children and young people at your care centre? Because if you've been waiting now for months and shuffling money around, I'd imagine that you're beginning to see the very day-to-day impact of these delays.
Well, it's affected the day-to-day running in that our focus is supposed to be obviously on providing optimal care to these vulnerable children. And yet these children are now being victimized by the state. We are rendering the service, right? We can obviously not compromise on their food, on providing, ensuring that they have electricity and ensuring that they have fuel to go to school. But it's affecting us negatively in the sense that we are trying to shuffle monies around to ensure that we have enough monies in the coffers to provide for their needs. And we also had to ensure that our creditors were informed that this is the situation we are facing and we can't carry on for much longer. We can't carry on like this for much longer. And if we do, heaven knows what's going to happen to us. So right now we are in a predicament. We are asking the public out there to sign this petition and to understand and to lobby for us in terms of what we are all going through, because we cannot continue in this manner as non-profits. We do not have large bank balances. We do not have the surplus monies to provide on an ongoing basis. Yes, we will ensure their needs are met right now, but we cannot say in the future what's going to happen. And we are one of those affected organizations that has not received any subsidies for the month of September, nor our tranche payments for October, November, and December.
And according to the News 24 piece today, about 47 NPOs have now launched this online petition. They then quote the DSD spokesperson in KwaZulu-Natal saying that they're funding about 1,200 NPOs monthly, and what they've experienced are, quote, cash flow management challenges. When was that first explained to you as a reason, if indeed that was the reason given to you?
There was no explanation. We were summoned to a meeting on the 25th of August this year, and we were told, as partners in providing a service to children, we were not engaged, but we were informed that this is the way we are going. We are going forward with the tranche system in advance. When we didn't get payment, we asked, why aren't we getting our payments? And it went on. Emails were just going on, and then we were told there are cash flow problems. Now, if you are envisaging going on this path, surely you should have made arrangements for that and not having these defenseless children and in terms of all our beneficiaries being affected by what you have decided to do.
Mm-hmm. And the spokesperson Nhlabunzima Memela, quoted as the DSD spokesperson by News24, then says it's been communicated now to the affected NPOs that basically all the monies owed should be paid by the end of this month, the month of October. Have you, with your organization, received direct communication of that commitment? And if that does not come to pass, what does it mean for the ability of the children who you care for to survive?
They have promised me. I have written to the CFO and I've gotten an assurance that the monies will be paid. But again, I say to you, it is an email. I do not know when we will be paid. We have 84 children in our care. I do not know how we are expected to pay, to sort out all our commitments to them, let alone our staff and our creditors, because this month, we are now on the 25th of October on Wednesday, and we have to see to all those commitments. So again, our board is looking at how they are going to source monies to actually pay this. And what we don't understand is the state has not put in any measures to say, look, this is what we can do. We are being ignored, our pleas are being ignored, and we are saying to them, where do we get reserves from? Some of us don't have those reserves. What are we going to do?
So what ultimately then,
needs to be helped.
Althea, what ultimately, what ultimately is the goal or the purpose of the petition, if indeed these payments are made to organizations such as yours by the end of October? Will you still push ahead with the petition? And if so, what would you want perhaps as somewhat of reform, perhaps, of this payment system? Because what the government is saying, for example, is that there are organizations, by and large, who've received payments for a quarterly period. Does that system work?
For me, it should have been a process. We are partners with them. They should have engaged us in a process of engagement, number one. We have what you call a service level agreement. Speak to us. Get us around the table. Ask us, what are the problems you are experiencing, number one. Number two, we are hoping that this would go to national. And the national departments would take cognizance of this fact and be able to do something about the problem. Okay? We are in the process of taking this matter to court. Okay? As a group of us in KZN, the non-profits. So we're hoping that something would come of that. But before that, we are hoping that at least government would meet us around a table and say, look, you know what? We've realized in retrospect the system is not working. Not leave us to fend for ourselves on how we would make ends meet on a daily basis. How are we going to, surely I am not expected to go and say to our children that are on diapers, I cannot afford to be buying you diapers because X, Y, and Z. And yet this is the predicament we're in. Mm. That is, we all know the price of food. We all know the price of electricity. Our food bill here is 100,000. Our electricity bill is 90,000. How are we expected to cope? And that is the reality of what's happening on the ground.
And the figures you were just giving us.
And the public needs to know this.
Mm. And the figures you were just giving us there, Althea, for your bills, including your light bill, are those your payments monthly?
Yes, it's 85 children plus their carers. I'm not taking into account the entire staff. The children have carers, okay? So these are the people that care for the children. So we're looking at catering for approximately, I would say, 93. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then it's the fuel bill, which is another 20,000. It just goes on and on and on. And I know that my colleagues are struggling as well. And when I speak of my colleagues, we're all in this together, and we just don't know what's going to happen in the next month. It is an incredibly stressful and difficult situation that we are all in. And our children here, just to state, get an allowance every month. just to teach them about financial planning. They have read an article in the newspaper and they have come to me and have said, we will forfeit our pocket money because we know that we are in a financial predicament. We do not want any pocket money for the month of October and November.
And what would that mean for these children if they were willing, as they are, to forfeit this money? What impact would that have on them in the everyday sense?
You know, it's teaching them, giving them pocket money is about teaching them financial responsibility. I mean, for them at that tender age, at 13, to come and say, here's my pocket money, I'm not going to take it. For them to grasp it, what does that say? It's very touching and it's very heartwarming, and I did say thank you to all of them, but it still does not take away the responsibility of government for what is happening here. And they need to be held accountable, and they need to actually answer for why we are in this situation. Their cash flow problems is not our problem. We still got to run. We still got to pay electricity and all the other bills. We are like a household of 4, but magnified to 100, if I may say that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much.
That is what it's like here. Thank you.
Althea, good to speak to you. I hope things do get better for you and the children soon, and the payments are made at the end of this month. Althea Govender, good to talk to you. Thank you.